That is Governor Abbott there. We do expect him to be on the ground soon. And he will also get the same questions that some Texas residents want to know. Why did they receive no warning ahead of the intense flooding? Now, CNN spoke to the former head of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That's the federal agency in charge of forecasting weather. Dr. Richard Spinrad says that funding cuts to the agency may have in fact hurt flood response efforts. He says that warning systems were working as they were supposed to until, though, the last step of the process. Listen to him.
The Weather Service did their job. The watches and warnings went out. Clearly, the heartbreak with respect to this development is that those warnings were not received. We've heard some people got the WIA alerts, some did not. We need to understand why that last mile is where the problem was in terms of getting alerts out.
Kelley Adley is chief of the FirstNet Response Operations Group section. FirstNet, which was built with AT&T, is on the ground in Texas to ensure first responders are in fact connected to the internet. And he joins us now from Kerrville, Texas. So good to have you there, of course, with your friend, who I'm sure is of great help. And we will get to him or her. I'm not sure if it's a him or her in a moment. But Kelley, I do want to ask you just about what we learned there, right? He is someone who knows what needs to be done, and he is saying it was the last mile that was a problem. We have heard from survivors say they did not have cell service. They were in places that never have cell service or do not have service that is reliable. Kelley, what needs to happen here? Because there are so many people around the United States who can picture themselves in the same situation one day.
Yes, and I greatly appreciate that question. That's a much bigger answer. I'm here with FirstNet. I'm here with AT&T. We're building out this FirstNet network for our first responders nationwide, but we're also supporting our first responders on the ground. As far as an overall, what can be done, I think that's a great question for bigger minds. But I can tell you, we are on the ground. We're supporting not only the first responders, but the ones that support first responders out here. I'm in the Mystic Camp facility. I'm in the area. It's very hot today. Unfortunately, we're inside the vehicle, so we have Rog the dog with us, our comfort animal that we also use for our first responders and the public.
Yeah, and I'm sure given all the tragedy that we see and the grief that having just a dog to kind of hold and, as you said, comfort people comes in handy. What have you seen that you've been there on the ground?
Yes, it's just, you can't describe. It's something that's never really happened here. There's this complete devastation. We're just here, pleased to be supporting our first responders. We have so many first responders, not only on the ground, but in the water. It's just incredible. It's just so hard to explain. But again, FirstNet wants to support our public safety. Everyone's supporting our public safety. Then also we're supporting the communities out here too. And again, this is Chief. He's a male. Golden Doodle, that's part of our team, and he's one that we bring in to just bring a little bit of comfort, not just to the first responders, but to the people out here. Just a happy smile and just hanging out with the people.
Yeah, Chief's behavior there is exemplary. I'd like to give him a hug myself right now. Kelley, I want to ask you, how important is it that when you do have a disaster like this and all the communication is down and you have first responders, I know we're a few days in here, but it's still crucial, right, that they be able to communicate and coordinate with each other when they are doing the work that families, survivors are counting on them to do?
Absolutely, and that's why we were on the ground shortly after this disaster. We had equipment here. We have over 180 assets in our pool. We have probably a little over a dozen assets on the ground right now supporting our first responders. Again, we were here. I've been here since early Saturday. We had other assets here Friday afternoon. We try to get in here early to get that network, get communications up for our first responders so they can do their job and do what they need to do, and that's search and rescue. And as it moves into recovery, we're going to be with them the duration of this event.
You were on the ground quite early there Saturday morning, and I'm sure it is a relief to anybody, any of the first responders on the ground there, that, as I said, that they can communicate with each other. Kelley, thank you. Our thanks to Chief, and we certainly wish everyone there much strength for the tough days
Thank you.
ahead. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chief. And Chief's doing great. Thank you.
Great.